trillion naira by the end of December 2019.
Senior Democrats have responded by accusing him of committing a gross offense.
The All Progressives Congress has vowed to punish the Ogun State Governor, Ibikule Amosu.
You're welcome to the news desk on Celebration TV. I am Sherry Quinsley Reimer. Here are the news making the headlines for today. Nigeria needs leader to stabilize and restructure economy, says Atiku. Zuma lays criminal charge against state prosecutor in corruption trial. Biden says the United States will defend Taiwan if China attacks. Elon Musk set to become first trillionaire on Earth. On sports, Osimhen helps Italians secure first Europa win after season. Do stay with us after this very short time out. I'll come back with the news in full. Do not go nowhere. You're welcome back now to news in detail. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar on Thursday challenged the federal government to tackle the decay in the power sector, saying Nigeria can no longer afford to be relegated to the backseat in a technology-driven world. He also said that Nigeria needed a leader that would develop the country through restructuring and also put the country in the positive corner of global economy of nations. His verdict was also echoed by renowned political economist Pat Utomi and a former executive vice chairman of National Communications Commission, Ernest Ndukwe. They spoke at the 70th birthday lecture and the public lecture with the presentation of a book in honor of the emeritus chairman of the DAAR Communications PLC, Raymond Dokwesi, in Abuja. Speakers at the event also expressed sadness that the ignorance of some appointees of the federal government, technology-wise, was costing the country trillions of dollars in foreign investment. Atiku said Nigeria needed a leadership that understood technology and was willing to reform the economy through digital innovation. According to him, beyond having a technology enthusiast as president, the country also needed a leader that would unify, structure and guarantee the security of its citizens. And moving forward from that story, the Edo civil society cheats Obaseki for demanding funds from the federal government. The Edo civil society organization has charged the state governor Godwin Obaseki for demanding funds from the federal government for a national livestock transformation program. The group described the action as a betrayal of Edo people and resolution reached at a town hall meeting by the Southern Forum Governors Forum on open grazing. Obaseki had, after attending the town hall meeting, flew to Abuja to attend from the federal government to demand from the federal government funds for livestock transformation program in the state. But the Edo CSO in press conference held in Benin City said if the agreement reached at the town hall meeting by the Southern Governors Forum was in vibration with Obaseki's demand from Buhari, then it is a betrayal of trust, adding that such would not be tolerated in the state. The chairman of the Extended Council of the Edo CSO, Usadolo Ochie, called on Obaseki to obey the decision and resolution he and other South-South governors reached at the town hall meeting, while noting that traditional rulers and the church in the state have all made it clear to the governor that the state has no hand, they have no hand for open grazing. Osadolo called on the governor to, as a matter of urgency, transmit a bill on anti-open grazing to the State House of Assembly so as to pass it into law, so that they will all have peace. The civil society organization therefore called on Obaseki to start further discussion on the National Livestock Transformation Program with the federal government, irrespective of the monetary benefits, while also calling on the state government to invest in agri sector. The civil society organization stressed that this would address food scarcity and other issues in the state. In another development, Nnamdi Kanu pleads not guilty of terrorism and treason charges. Leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu pleaded not guilty to 7 counts filed against him at a federal high court in Abuja. Kanu was also challenging the jurisdiction of the court to hear the matter on the grounds that the alleged offences were committed in the United Kingdom and not in Nigeria. His lawyer, Ifeanyi Ejiofor, made the disclosure shortly after his rearrangement before Justice Binta Nyoko. Kanu was in June rearrested in Kenya and also extradited to the country to face trial. He was first arrested in a Lagos hotel in 2015 by operatives of the Department of State Services and was arraigned alongside 4 others in 2016. Just like the earlier charge, Kanu also pleaded not guilty to the fresh charges. His lawyer requested that he should be transferred to the custody of the Correctional Service Center. Justice Nyoko declined the the request of the grounds that it would be in the interest of Kanu to remain with the DSS. The court had ordered the IPOB leader to be kept in custody of the DSS, pending his arraignment and commencement of trial. And meanwhile, Justice Nyako had adjourned the case to November 10th for hearing of Kanu's application challenging the jurisdiction of court to try him as well as the competence of the charge. And now news coming from around Africa. Zuma lays criminal charge against state prosecutor in corruption trial. South Africa's ex-president Jacob Zuma made his first public appearance since his release from prison on medical parole last month. He did this to lay charges against the chief state prosecutor in his corruption trial. Zuma went to the Loop Street police station in the eastern city where he is on trial for corruption to open a criminal case against advocate Billy Downer for allegedly leaking his current state of health to the media. The former president, who was accompanied by one of his daughters, Duduzile Zuma, waved at his supporters who had gathered outside the police station. His supporters were chanting songs of victory for the former president. Just last month, Jacob Zuma's advocate Dali Mpofu explained the act prohibited Downer from providing legal documents to the media. He said Downer risked facing a 15-year sentence if found guilty of the charges. And in July, Zuma was found guilty of contempt of court for ignoring a separate inquiry into mass looting of public funds during his rule. The next hearing is set for October 26th. News still coming from around Africa. Zimbabwe's opposition accuses ruling party of attacks on its leader Nelson Chamisa. Zimbabwe's main opposition party, the MDC Alliance, has condemned an attack on its leader Nelson Chamisa. While in his car shortly after a political meeting, Nelson Chamisa was reportedly shot at this time. The second attack in 2 weeks. The party claims just before the latest attack, a dozen cars without license plates followed Chimisa's convoy. The MDC Alliance accuses the ruling ZANU-PF of launching these attacks. And on October 10th, the party reported that around 200 villagers suspected to have been mobilized by the ruling ZANU-PF barricaded roads and hurled rocks at their cars in the southern Masvingo region. It said Chamisa was on his way to meet community leaders in the Masvingo area when the convoy was attacked. Political tensions have risen in Zimbabwe ahead of presidential elections in 2 years. Nelson Chamisa is expected to challenge the current head of state, Emerson, for the second time. Right now, we'll go for a very short break. When we get back from that break, I'll be bringing you update from the foreign scene as Biden says the United States will defend Taiwan if China attacks. And we'll be right back with more details on that news story.
Two winners, 50 videos, wonders without number raffle draw with Apostle Johnson Suleiman. This October, the word is itching to hear your testimony. Send your testimony videos now and stand a chance to speak with the Restoration Apostle Johnson Suleiman via private Zoom meeting, direct call or physical meeting. Send in your video testimonies now. You might just be that winner. Your time has come.
Welcome back. And our news coming from the foreign scene. President Joe Biden said the United States would defend Taiwan if China attacked, in an apparent departure from a long-held position. Taiwan reacted by saying Mr. Biden's statements would not change its own position with regards to China. The United States has a law which requires it to help Taiwan defend itself, but it has long been deliberately vague about what it would actually do if China were to attack Taiwan. This is known as its position of strategic ambiguity. This is not the first time this has happened. In August, Mr. Biden appeared to suggest the same stance on Taiwan in an interview. The White House had also said then that the then U.S. policy on Taiwan had not changed. Taiwan's presidential office has said it would neither give in to pressure nor rashly advance when it gets support. China has yet to respond to Mr. Biden's comment, but earlier on Thursday, before Mr. Biden's town hall, China's United Nations Ambassador Zhang Jun accused the United States of taking dangerous actions, leading the situation in a Taiwan strait into a dangerous direction. Tensions have been rising between Taiwan and China in recent weeks after Beijing flew dozens of warplanes into Taiwan's air defense zone. And now more updates coming from the United Kingdom. The Queen back at Windsor after a hospital stay. The Queen spent Wednesday night in hospital for preliminary medical checks and is now back at Windsor Castle, Buckingham Palace. The 95-year-old monarch returned from the private hospital in central London at lunchtime and is in good spirits. She was given medical advice to rest for a few days after a busy schedule of public engagements. The Queen travelled by car to the King Edward VII Hospital in Marylebone, that is about 19 miles from Windsor, where she was seen by specialists. Her admittance is understood not to be related to coronavirus. The overnight stay was said to be for practical reasons, and the Queen was back at her desk undertaking large duties on Thursday afternoon. It is the first time the Queen has stayed in hospital since 2013, when she suffered symptoms of gastroenteritis. The King Edward VII is a private hospital used by senior royals, including the Queen's husband, the late Duke of Edinburgh, who received treatment there earlier this year. And now on business news. Elon Musk is set to become first trillionaire on Earth. Elon Musk, the world's richest person, is estimated to have a net worth of $242 billion, according to Bloomberg Billionaires Index. Although he is already the world's richest person, he could also become the first member of the CARMEL club. There are also predictions that Musk could become the world's first trillionaire, largely thanks to his aerospace company, SpaceX. Though humans are yet to reach Mars, one of Musk's goals for the company via SpaceX Starship, the advanced launch system, already has high expectations following the success of SpaceX's Crew Dragon. Earlier this month, the valuation of SpaceX increased to $100.3 billion. That is just up from $74 billion in February. According to the CNBC, the valuation made SpaceX, which Musk owns about 48% of the corporation, the world's second biggest privately held company. And back in January, Musk overtook Jeff Bezos to become the world's richest person, only to briefly lose that title back to the Amazon billionaire the following month. Musk went on to reclaim his spot days later following the completion of a SpaceX funding round, according to Fortune. Bezos, currently the second richest person in the world, is estimated to have a net worth of $197 billion, followed by Bernard Arnault, who is worth $163 billion. Bill Gates is worth $133 billion, and Mark Zuckerberg is coming next with $127 billion. I'm still on business news. 77 million Nigerians lack access to power, says the NNPC. The Nigerian Bulk Electricity Trading PLC provided statistics on misalignments in the power value chain, saying that about 14,000 megawatts of electricity was contracted to power generation companies. Managing Director of the NBET, Nnamdi Kanu, gave a breakdown of the quantum of Nigerians' electricity demand, what was contracted, available capacity, and what was produced, amongst others. He provided these statistics while speaking during the plenary session at the World Energy Day Conference 2021, organized by the Abuja Chamber of Commerce and Industry. This came as the group's Executive Director of Gas and Power, Nigerian National Petroleum Company, Mohammed Ahmed, told participants at the event that about 77 million Nigerians were currently without access to electricity. Providing statistics on Nigerians' power situation, Nnamdi said, in terms of situating the gas discussion within the context of the power sector, there are some misalignments in the value chain which the government is trying to address. It's time to take a very short break. When we get back from that break, I'll bring you news coming from the world of sports. I will be right back.
Solidify the foundation of the ordained man. Witness witness fatherhood connection to divine.
There are people who do not understand the place of intimacy. The strength of every warrior is his ability to arrest his ninth season. The strength of every warrior is ability to make decrees at night.
Enjoy the reality of your divine nature.
The Lord began to show me this traveling that the Lord is showing me has to be with something like somebody going to buy goods. Yes, I saw you serving a man.
Yes.
You serving a man.
Yes, from Ghana.
This is Unsuka.
Yes, yes.
In Unsuka.
Yes, sir.
I'm looking at 18 years. Year 2000.
Yes, sir.
This is the man said, let me settle. I saw that they went to conjure and they discovered this one is going to be big, and they call, say, let's do a celebration so they can send you forth. Everybody was looking forward to the time, and as you stand there to collect money, they blew breeze on the spot. You became mad, so they did not talk about settlement again. Your prayer will go up, it will come back. And I'm asking the Lord, what is happening? He said they took a powder and they called Tochuku. What's your name?
My name is Tochuku.
Tochuku.
This is the impacts the birds manifestation.
Amen.
Men's Conference 2021, Apostle Johnson Suleiman.
We are inviting men from all over, from Nigeria, from outside Nigeria, 10, 11 and 12, for 3 days explosion, men of impact.
Theme, Men of Impact. Date, 10th through 12th November 2021 by 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. daily. Happening at the International Worship Center, Omega Fire Ministries, Kilometer 132 Billion Kenya Abuja Expressway, Algier, Edo State, Nigeria. For inquiries, please call
Glad to have you back. And now news coming from the world of sports. Serie A leaders Napoli secured their first European win of the season, overcoming the previously unbeaten Liga Warsaw 3-0. Nigeria's Victor Osimhen took his goal tally to 9 for the campaign after Lorenzo Insigne had broken the deadlock for the Italians. Italy midfielder Matteo then rubbed salt into the Polish wound with a third in added time. Monaco remains top of Group B as 21-year-old midfielder Sofiane claimed an 89th winner in the 2-1 success over PSV. Australia's turn grass remains pointless after 3 rounds after Sweden's Alexander Isak scored a second-half winner in Real Sociedad's 1-0 win. Marseille were held at 0-0 at Lazio as Italy's Cairo Immobile hit the woodwork for the hosts. Zambia striker Pat Sindaka scored 4 goals at Leicester, revived their campaign by fighting back from 2 goals down to beat Spartak Moscow 4-3. Celtic beat Ferencváros 2-0 in front of a crowd of more than 50,000 at Celtic Park, despite 15:30 local time kick-off. And now in another sports news, Schwartzman beats Murray in Antwerp. Diego Schwartzman ended Andy Murray's hopes of another Antwerp title with straight sets second round win, saying it was a pleasure to finally face the former world number 1. Second seed Schwartzman carved out a 6-4 7-6. That is an 8 out of 6 victory over the 3-time Grand Slam title winner who won the last of his 46 career titles in the Belgian port city in 2019. Thursday's meeting was the first time the two men had met on court despite both being on the tour for well over a decade. Schwarzman will face either American Brandon or Henry of Switzerland for a place in the semi-finals. And that's that for the news on Celebration TV News Desk today. Just in case you missed out on the top stories, here is a quick recap of the headlines. Nigeria needs leaders to stabilize and restructure economy, says Atiku. Zuma lays criminal charge against state prosecutor in corruption trial. President Biden says the United States will defend Taiwan if China attacks. Elon Musk is said to become first trillionaire on Earth. And on sports, Osimhen helps Italians secure first Europa win of the season. And now to the photo of the day. That photo is saying, your imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's attraction. If you can imagine it, you can make it happen, because the greatest nation in the world is not America or Russia. It is the nation of the mind. You can share your thoughts about our photo of the day via our social media platform. On Facebook, we are Celebration TV. On Instagram, we are My Celebration TV. On Twitter, we are at My Celebration TV. On YouTube, Celebration TV. Make sure to bear in mind that your positive contribution to the wellness of the society you find yourself or the organization you work actually defines your leadership mind. As an individual who knows what to do and you do so without expecting to be pushed has backed his way to success. Be it known today that everything we do, think, feel and believe either has a positive or a negative effect on humanity and our national well-being. Make sure you are a part of nation building today. I remain Sherry Quinsley Weimar. Thank you for staying tuned. Do have a wonderful weekend ahead. Goodbye.
Amounted to 15.7 trillion naira at the end of December 2019.
Senior Democrats have responded by accusing him of committing aggressive.
The All Progressives Congress has vowed to punish the Ogun State Governor Ibikule